The Disease and the Cure by Imam Abu Abdullah Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr ibn Ayyub Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah. Treatment in the opening chapter of the Quran, Al-Fatihah. It has been authentically reported in the Sahih of Al-Bukhari and Muslim on the authority of Abu Sa'ud, who said, "Some of the companions of the Prophet went on a journey till they reached some of the Arab tribes at night. They asked the latter to treat them as their guests, but they refused. The chief of that tribe was then bitten by a snake or stung by a scorpion, and they tried their best to cure him, but in vain. Some of them said, 'Nothing has benefited him. Will you go to the visitors who resided here at night? It may be that some of them possess something as treatment.' They went to the group of the companions and said, 'Our chief has been bitten by a snake or stung by a scorpion, and we have tried everything, but it has not benefited. Have you got anything useful?' One of them replied, 'Yes, by Allah, I can recite a ruqya, but as you have refused to accept us as your guests, I will not recite the ruqya for you unless you fix for us some wages for it.' They agreed to pay them a flock of sheep. One of them then went and recited the opening chapter, Surah Al-Fatihah. All the praises are for the Lord of the worlds, and puffed over the chief, who became sound as a result, as if he was released from shackles, and got up and started walking, showing no signs of sickness. They paid them what they agreed to pay. Some of the companions suggested dividing their earnings among themselves, but the one who performed the recitation said, 'Do not divide them till we go to the Prophet and narrate the whole story to him and wait for his order.' So they went to Allah's Messenger and narrated the story. Allah's Messenger asked, 'How did you come to know that Surah Al-Fatihah was recited as ruqya?' Then he added, 'You have done the right thing. Divide what you have earned, assign a share for me as well.' As it is evident, this remedy had an effect on this illness and eradicated it as if it never existed. It is the easiest remedy and least exhausting. If a servant refines the treatment through opening chapter, he will find it having an amazing effect as a remedy. I spent some time in the city of Makkah, whilst frequently experiencing illness that I could not find a doctor for nor a remedy, so I would treat myself with the opening chapter of the Quran, and I would find that it had an amazing effect. So I would prescribe this to those who complain of an ailment. Many of them would be swiftly cured. The reasons for a delay or an absence in the cure. Here, there is a point that all must be conscious of, and it is that the phrases of remembrance, the verses and the supplications are used in the pursuit of a cure, or those used in ruqya are inherently beneficial and remedial. However, they require acceptance from the place they are applied on and a discerning strength from the one who is applying them. So whenever the cure is delayed, it is either from a weakness in effect that the applicant has, or a lack of acceptance from the patient, or from a further strong preventative that blocks the remedy from having its effect, as is the case with the more tangible medicines, or it could be due to another preventative. If one's natural form wholly accepts the remedy, the body shall benefit from it in accordance to the extent of this acceptance. Likewise, if the heart wholly accepts the ruqya and supplications of refuge in Allah, whilst the one performing the procedure does so with full enthusiasm and discerning care, it shall have an effect in eradicating the illness. The reasons for a delay or an absence in the effect of a supplication. The same as the aforementioned applies to a supplication. Bearing in mind, it is from the strongest means in repelling harm and attaining the desired objective. However, its effect can be delayed, either due to a weakness in the supplicant, in that it is a supplication that is undesirable to Allah due to its offensive content, or a weakness in the heart and a lack of devotion to Allah, as well as a scarcity of presence of heart at the time of supplication, thus becoming like a flimsy bow that the arrow departs from in a feeble manner. This failure to achieve a response to the supplication occurs due to a possible prevention being present, such as the consumption of unlawful products, oppression, the dark cover of sins over the heart, an overwhelming state of heedlessness, obliviousness, or idleness, and its suppression. Jazakallah khair for listening. Share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. Dua for all.